Greetings, YouTube family. If you live in the Tucson area or just so happen to be a gym enthusiast yourself, you have probably heard about or are familiar with the Tucson Gym Mineral Fossils Show. YouTube has an abundance of videos that showcase the annual event. However, in this video, I just wanted to share some of my experiences working in the Tucson gym and mineral industry. This is for individuals who may have an interest working in this field and are wondering what it is like. Now, let's get to it, shall we? What products will you deal with? The products can range from anything from raw materials to elaborately crafted jewelry. I feel like the products fall into three general categories: gems, fossils, and minerals. You have the minerals, which are more of your raw materials sold in a variety of different weights and sizes. You can get the gravel size, or you can go for the much larger boulders. Then you have your gems, which are more polished up and may have even been handcrafted into some type of artwork. And you may encounter products such as jewelry and or sculptures, or simply the stones in their natural form. Finally, there are the fossils, which are mostly ancient sea creatures, but also include many other primitive creatures and plants from millions of years ago. Many people interested in these products are also curious about their origin. Really, most of this stuff can come from anywhere around the world. The United States, Mexico, Brazil, Peru, Madagascar, Morocco, the DRC, India, and China are just a few of the examples of where I have seen some of these products come from. You can find products that range in a variety of prices. However, products tend to be on the more expensive, pricier side in this industry. They require lots of physical labor to remove from the ground, potentially process, and then ship over to our country. These are definitely more of a want than need type of product. Just be aware of that if you are considering a sales position in this industry. How ethical is this industry? When you discuss any products or services being imported from abroad, some people may be compelled to ask if any of the people that are involved in the process of mining, producing, and shipping over all this stuff are actually being treated fairly and ethically. I'll just say you will need to do your research. Some companies are more transparent than others regarding their supply chain process and how the employees are treated in each step of that process. However, just be aware that many of these origin countries have weak labor laws and regulations, and there's often little to no oversight from organizational watchdogs and regulatory agencies. For example, here are the average salaries of mine workers in these countries. Now, I would like to state that the statistics listed below don't necessarily reflect the salary that the particular company that you may work for pays their workers in these countries. Just keep these facts in mind if worker conditions in other countries is something you are really passionate about. Now, I'm a guy. Honestly, I'm not personally aware of any misconduct. However, I'll just say if you'd like to say something about this topic below in the comment section, go ahead. I won't judge. This is just simply for discussion amongst the people that work in this industry. I wish the companies weren't so worried about the workers' transparency and more worried about being transparent themselves. Research on these companies is often hard to come by. I believe similar to the rest of the American economy, there is always room for improvement for every company that participates in the gem and mineral trade. What is the company/industry culture like? You will not encounter a corporate environment. Most of these companies in the industry are small to medium-sized companies. For example, the company I worked for had about 20 to 30 employees. Besides the ownership, nobody had a long tenure at the company. The longest tenured employee was there for 5 years. Why is this? I believe that there is just a general lack of ability to advance, and the pay is simply not high enough. Just similar issues that are present in many other companies in the American economy. General managers generally struggle to stay at the company, always drawing the ire and blame when something went awry. You will probably meet the CEO, owner of the company. Keep this in consideration when deciding how close you want to be to the company's leadership. Personally, they left a little to be desired in terms of proper communication. Too much emotion and rambling instead of constructive criticism and guidance. During the Tucson gym and Denver gym shows, there seemed to be insufficient planning for the show's itinerary and for any possible contingencies for any possible issues that may have arisen. If your company is stationed in Tucson and participates in the Denver gym show, just know you might have to travel to Denver sometime in September for about a 3-week period. There was poor integration between the American and foreign workers. I don't want to reveal which company I worked for, but the company would temporarily bring in workers from an East African country whose citizens speak French. The incoming workers and management didn't seem to receive too much training on the American work culture. It felt very much like a do as you're told because they wouldn't understand any of your complaints anyway type of environment. And also a belief among the incoming workers that Americans were lazy and have it all too good. The American and foreign management always encountered an issue when trying to resolve issues with the ownership. There seemed to be little room for debate and conversation and more of a reliance on trial and error. And trust us, we've been doing this for 20 years. And yet, they complained about how poorly they were performing each show. I wish the company was better at hiring and retaining employees and just acknowledging that most of the employees would like an opportunity to perhaps advance within the company. The good employees either left or had to deal with the burden of understaffing during the busy season. They would hire employees you would see at other minimum wage locations. And I'm just saying, don't be surprised if you're not working with any professionals in suits and ties. There seemed to be a lot of suspicion from the ownership regarding products being stolen by the workers. Specifically, they seemed to have it out for the shipping department. They made sure there were plenty of cameras keeping view of every angle in the shipping room, as well as the rest of the facility. One of the positives, or a negative, depending on your personality, is that you will get to meet people from all kinds of different backgrounds, customer-wise. People will come from all over, not just the United States, but the entire world for multiple reasons. They are either personal collectors, wholesalers looking to add to their own business inventory, looking around for educational purposes, or are just curious visitors seeing what is being presented in these gym shops. If you're interested in a sales position in this industry, just remember what I previously mentioned about the prices. There are 2 types of sales positions in this industry. The first is your traditional sales position that deals primarily with wholesalers looking to restock their inventories with a specific product. The second type is your online sales. These salespeople use a variety of social media platforms to sell their company's products. However, many struggle to move beyond a small, loyal audience and reach a variety of new prospects. Overall, I believe the industry has an average company culture. In some aspects, it's better than your minimum wage fast food job. However, in other aspects, there are some issues within the industry that is holding the industries and companies' cultures back. What should I expect for compensation? If you're looking for a career that is going to provide you with a large salary and generous benefits, I hate to break the bad news, but you are probably out of luck in this industry. This is an industry with small profit margins and little wiggle room. The company I worked for in particular seemed keen to pinch pennies. Nobody got a full 40 hours, just a 37.5-hour week because of the 30-minute lunch breaks each day. And they made getting 37.5 hours seem like they were doing you a favor instead of a solid guarantee. The company-sponsored health insurance was unaffordable for most, around $400 a month. Don't expect any generous benefits for your insurance or retirement. Most of these companies don't really invest in any aesthetics for their physical location. For example, the last company I worked for operated out of a former automotive repair shop. I know of another down the road that operates out of a former restaurant. Most of what they purchase for the showroom presentation is second-hand materials. For example, we took apart shelving in a scrapyard and rebuilt them back at the main location. There was little done about the overabundance of wiring hanging from the ceiling. No matter how you arranged the products on the shelves, the owners never seemed satisfied with the presentation. It's like, how can you be satisfied when the surrounding environment is the bare minimum? In 2025, the reality is most of the jobs in this industry are not going to provide the necessary income or benefits to reach the American dream by oneself. To briefly summarize, it's a niche industry that is meant for a small percentage of people. If you're looking for a high salary, high benefits career, this may not be the right fit for you. If you don't have pressing financial burdens, maybe perhaps you're looking for part-time work and or have an interest in the scientific or metaphysical aspect of gems and minerals, this may be the right industry for you. If you made it to the end, thank you for staying tuned in. This is my first video covering my experiences across my career. If you're curious about the industry, I hope this has answered some of your questions. If you happen to work in the industry either here in Tucson or somewhere else in the world, I would love to hear your input in the comment section below. I believe that constructive dialogue always helps advance the best interests of the industry for everyone involved. And as always, thank you and have a blessed day.